We all have past memories, whether good or bad, di po ba? May mga memories po tayo during the past that we could recall, and those memories are being remembered. Even sa ating pagtanda ay naaalala pa rin natin. And the truth is, yes, we have all already stored all of those memories in our mind. I remember when my dad was still alive, and he always talked about his life. When we are having a conversation, he always referred to the old days, no? And he keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating his job before, those things that he does, and those stories. And because they love to recall, they love to tell those stories of the past. And also me, I remember still those good old days, when my dad gave me a gift during my 12th birthday, and he gave me a pair of sneakers. And that sneaker is Nike. And I loved Nike at that time. I really loved, because I played basketball just like my son Ted. I love basketball. And I want to have a basketball, the hi-hat shoes, Nike. That's what I love, no? But then when I received that during my birthday, and I said, oh, when I received that for 1 month that I didn't choose, you know what I did? I sleep with it. I sleep with it. I don't want to have a scratch. I don't want to mess with my shoes because it's white, So I sleep with it every day, and I keep on, and I will smell the new rubber shoes. I love it. So those were days. Well, those are usual memories that I have, and also I have memories also of my dad beating me because he was disturbed when he is sleeping. He had an overtime all the night. He came back at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and he slept. And where in the room outside, in his room outside, is a basketball court. And when I'm playing basketball and the ball just hit the window, and it did not really trouble him, he just beat me big time, no? And those are usual memories, that we could recall. No, if you see a pair of shoes of Nike, you will recall that good old days that you have gifted you by your dad. Or if you saw dad that beats a child, you will recall also to what your past is. No, so those are normal memories that you remember. No, those are normal memories that you remember of your past. But there are memories of your past, no, that seems so. It's just like a tower, a high-rising tower that is powered, no, that you are connected to the tower. That every actions or every tendencies na nangyayari sa iyo is connected to that memory, connected to that past events that you have. And those things that I'm telling you, that high-rising tower that I'm telling you, are those wounds, no? Yung wounds, yung na wounded ka, yung sa Tagalog nun sa wounded is nasugatan ka. Sugat ng iyong puso. Wounds or sorrow that you experience during the past. Those have a major events. Those are a major effect sa bawat isa sa atin. Even we are living in this present time, there is still a pull, there is still an impact of those things that we experienced during the past. Even right now, we followers of Christ, we serve the Lord, that are unaware that they are having those bondages, that they are having those chain, no, of the past, no. Kaya nga yung iba, they've been in control of the past. Bakit ko nasabi they're in control of the past? They were still bandaged. Example, there are people that are very extremely talented people. They are gifted, really very gifted. They they serve the Lord, they love the Lord, no? But then they are easily irritated. They are so unreasonable. They are easily get angered, unsubmissive, no? And they are overly sensitive. At alam ko na ano napapansin natin yung mga ano, they're difficult to be with actually, no? Because there are something in the past that is just pulling them, that is just molding them, that is just affecting their actions, no? And that's the truth, mga kapatid, no? And even all those people that are listening to this, sometimes your action was being affected, was being altered because of your wounds, because of your pain, because of those things that happens to you, those things that happens to you in the past. We'll be studying about healing your wounded soul. Yan po yung topic po natin. And we will go to Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. If you have a Bible, pakibasa na lang po natin. Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. It says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Ulitin ko po, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. Huwag po tayong manahan sa ating nakaraan. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do not perceive it. I am making a way in the wilderness. Sabi niya, I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. Now, I just read the story about Joyce Meyer, no, the testimony of Joyce Meyer. I was really so inspired of the story, the testimony of Joyce Meyer. It's so powerful. Joyce Meyer has almost 1,000 workers, people who work with him, employee, and she is a very renowned speaker, a renowned teacher of the gospel. She is really amazing teacher, Yan yung mga hinahangaan ko mga preacher, But Joyce Meyer has a past, She was being raped by her alcoholic dad for 200 times, and that it was so devastating because at her childhood until she reached 18 years old, when she got born again, but still she's carrying the effect or the wound that is being inflicted by her dad, her alcoholic dad. Now, what she's battling at is about the one she trusted, the one she's supposed to be caring for her, is the one who did against her, who causes that wound. Joyce Meyer's result is she lived a life of isolation. Gusto na lang niyang mapag-isa. She don't trust people. She had really a trust issue on people. So she hate men when she saw or people just come close, or men just come close to her. He's so hostile to those people, and she felt rejected. She tended to be hostile, aggressive, especially when she saw like those kids, girls that are so happy with their parents, so happy with their dad. She felt rejected. She felt the pain, she felt the sorrow, she felt the wound that was inflicted by his dad. So even nung nag-asawa po siya, she took time. It's a process for her to just really back to her normal, or to the life that the Lord is planning for her. It took a while for her to come up, with that bondage, So, and those are extreme person. Her extreme personality has something to do with the wounds she sustained at the past. And those are very hurtful. And I remember Hannah, no, napag-aralan po natin nung nakaraan, Hannah was being ridiculed always. She's being provoked always by her rival, no, Penina, no. And that causes her to cry always, to don't sleep, she doesn't eat, no, because of the pain, because of the wound. And one time she went to the temple and she prayed, agonizing to God. You know, agonizing, you know, when you agonize, no, it's you felt so extreme pain. You agonize for a pain or for a wound. Kung nasugatan ka, you agonize of pain. Just like her praying at that time, she was being misinterpreted by the high priest Eli, that he said, "Oh, you're drunk." No, Eli thought that she was drunk at that time because she's mumbling the word, but it doesn't come out from her mouth. She is in agony. That's how I describe the pain that sometimes we experience if we recall those things of the past, right? So I'm telling you that this is a serious matter because sometimes we believers, nakikita mo yung mga kapatiran po natin, they are just laughing, they're just it seems that it's normal, but deep inside of them, there are a lot of wounds, there are a lot of sorrows that they experience. Those events leaves us a scar in our hearts. And that is so impossible to get rid of without God. But only, yes, the power of God. Only the power of God could. No? In Jeremiah 30, verse 17, it says, Jeremiah 30, verse 17, it says, "But I will restore you to health and heal your wound, declares the Lord, because you are called an outcast, Zion for whom no one cares." Sabi ni Lord, "But I will restore you. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds." Sabi na, "I will restore you. I will heal your wounds." Huwag kang mag-alala. No? Sabi ni Lord sa atin, huwag kang mag-alala. I will heal your wound. Mga kapatid, we cannot do it alone. We need the help of God. We need the help of God. God will intervene us. Well, I want to be serious about this, mga kapatid. I hope that you will get this. No? I want to be serious because God will intervene. God will help us with this situation to free us from the past memories. Pero you have to work with Him. Okay? You have to work with God. God cannot remove all your wounds of the past kung hindi mo pa rin napapatawad ang iyong sarili, kung hindi mo pa rin napapatawad ang mga tao na nagkasala sa iyo. No? There should be a participation. There should be you will partner with God for you to break through, for you to free from this bondage. It doesn't guarantee you as a believer, okay, na born again ako, I'm now set free. Yes, you're set free from any sin, no, from anything that entangles you of the past. He already forgiven you your past, your present, the future sin. But there are something that sometimes we are still on bondage of the past, and we have to do something. Okay? I'm telling you, kasi kailangan po natin ma-root out kung ano yung cause. Kung ano yung cause, bakit nagre-react ako ng ganito, napaka-sensitive kong tao, napaka-prideful kong tao, napaka-stubborn kong tao, very unsubmissive ako, or something that I don't trust people, you know, I'm so hostile to people. Why? Bakit kaya ganito? Napaka-irritable ako. You don't know that there probably something in the past that just keeps you that track or controlling you with your action. Okay? So I will give you some tips or key how to get freedom from your wounds of the past. No, just listen po. Yung key for how to get freedom from your past. Number one is you have to revisit the past. Sabihin nga po natin, revisit the past. Revisit the hurtful memories that greatly impacted your life negatively.
That's very painful, Pastor.
No, those painful, yeah, it's very painful. If you will revisit those past, kasi you can never deal or settle your issues right now if you cannot recall or if you cannot pinpoint those things that causes you. You have to revisit the past today. No? How do you know that it affects you even today? Bakit mo nalalaman na still affecting you even right now? Because it keeps coming back. Alright?
Amen.
It keeps coming back. Mayroong kanta na paborito ni Mitch, no? It always comes back to me now. No? It always comes back to me. Bakit kaya palaging umuulit, palaging nare-recall ko, palaging naalala ko, at minsan pagka naalala ko, hindi ako makatulog, hindi ako mapakali, no? My reaction is change pagka naalala ko yon, no? And those are, we have to revisit the past, no? Revisiting the past is, yes, it's painful, but what are those things that we will revisit? Maybe your parents being so unfair to you, mas pabor niya yung kapatid, and you are a black sheep, they're unfair to you, no? And you are so hurt because of that, no? And sometimes maybe you are abandoned by your kasintahan, your boyfriend, or you've been abandoned by your girlfriend. You know, those things, for some reason, that until now, the pain of being abandoned is still there. I remember when I prophesied to somebody, and God has told me to speak the word to her, and I said, kapatid, no, sabi ni Lord, you have to forget it. You have to forget it. Just release yourself from that person, and you will be set free. And then during the prayer meeting or during a Bible study, and then what happened is she approached me after the Bible study finished, and Pastor Jun, can I speak to you outside? She said to me, oh yes, of course. Then kinausap niya ako dun sa labas. Pastor, sabi niya, grabe naman yung sinabi mo, talagang nayadig naman ako dun sa sinabi mo. Sabi niya sa akin, bakit? Kasi just between me and you, sabi niya sa akin, you know that until now I'm still reminishing, I'm still affected dahil yung boyfriend ko ay iniwan ako. For how many years? 20 years now. May pamilya na yung tao. May pamilya na siya, may dalawang anak na siya. And still, she is being hurt with the boyfriend. Kasi sabi niya, tindi kasi, Pastor, napakapait kasi magpapakasal na kami at that time. Pero hindi ko alam kung bakit kumalas na lang siya sa akin. You see? You see she's still in bondage. Mayroon na siyang pamilya, mayroon na siyang, pero the pain is still hurting. She's still hurting. So maybe you've been accused by people who love someone that you did not do. You're accused by something, or your loved ones, that's something that you didn't do. No, you've been accused, you've been slandered. No, or maybe you're sexually abused, just like Joyce Meyer. No, or maybe you were treated unfairly by your loved ones, that it's deeply hurt. They used you and they treated you so bad. And those are the hurt, all those events or memories that hurt you deeply, which leaves a scar in your heart. Those are wounds, no? And all those that can potentially influence you today in terms of your actions and tendencies. Mga kapatid, yung mga past, kung hindi mo napatawad yung memories mo ng the past, then it still hurts you. It will still come back, no? So, mamaya I will give you a moment for you to revisit your past, and then we will pray for you. I don't know how will we do it, but believe that God will do something later on as we pray. No? Now, it's time after you revisit your past. Now, it's time. Okay? This is very important. It's time to forgive the past. It's time to forgive your past. No? In Ephesians 4, verse 31 to 32, Ephesians 4:31 to 32, it says, Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, rolling, and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just in Christ God forgave you. Okay? Sabi niya, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, brawling, and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other. Kailangan we have to forgive each other. This is one of the major key, mga kapatid. Forgiving those people who hurt us. Forgiving those people whatever hurt that they inflicted on you or they caused you trouble, whatever those is, you have to forgive them. Forgive is so easy to pronounce, but it's hard to do. Yes, I know. Because I've been to that too. And it's really hurting. It's really hard. But this is the major key to get you breakthrough, mga kapatid, from the bondage. You have to free yourself. And it's not only to forgive those people, but you need to forgive yourself. Bakit? Because you've been nourishing. You've been nurturing those hurt of unforgiveness that it's been long that you've been that you should have forgiven that person, or you have just forgiven that caused you problem, but until now you haven't forgiven. So you have to forgive yourself too. Forgive those people who hurt you, and then you have to forgive yourself. And I tell you, this is a very important stage. You can never be set free as a person if you still hold grudges, if you still hold unforgiveness in your heart. And I'm talking to you, mga kamanggagawa, you believers of Christ. No? We are serving God, but if you still holding unforgiveness in your heart, sorry to tell you, no, hindi ka karapat-dapat sa kaharian ng ating Panginoon. No? Because the Lord forgave those people who mocked him, who accused him, no? And do things against him. She said, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. If God forgive all of us, then why not that we can forgive our brothers and sisters? Something to ponder, and this is a very serious matter kasi tayo mga Kristiyano, dapat tayo marunong magpatawad. Whatever the offense it is, whatever the offense, patawarin po natin. Maybe you don't trust that person anymore. Yes, okay, don't trust that person, but you still forgive. Don't stay away from him or from that person anymore, so that he won't hurt you. But now you have to willing to forgive that person. Now we are on this third stage. The first stage is you have to revisit the past, and then you have to forgive your past, and then you have to move on. All right, you have to move on, mga kapatid. It says here in Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. Sabi niya, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Alright? Sabihin nga po natin, do not dwell in the past.
Do not dwell in the past.
Alright? Do not dwell in the past means you have to forget the former things. Ano pa yung mga former things? Yung former things, those wounds, those pains, those sorrows, those are the former things. And move on. So you have to move on. Moving on is to forget all those things. Don't be like the Israelites. Yung mga Israelites, galing sila sa Egyptian captivity. Moses was being used by God to for them to come out from the Egyptian, and then here comes that the Egyptians are chasing the Israelites, and now when they are cornered on the Red Sea, they said, "Oh Moses, bakit wala bang mga sementeryo dun sa Egyptian? Dapat sana bumalik na lang tayo. Di mo na lang sana kami dinala rito." They are pointing all their fingers to Moses. Sinisisi nila si Moses. But God says, move on. Move on. Sabi nga po natin, move on. Kailangan you need to move on. Kung hindi nag-move on yung mga Israelites, hindi siguro nila na-experience. Hindi nila na-experience yung greatest miracle that's been ever happened in the Bible, the parting of the Red Sea. Kung hindi siguro sila nag-move on, hindi siguro nila na-reach yung promised land. Wow! What a big mistake kung hindi sila nag-move on. Kung sumuko na lang sila. Mga kapatid, you have to move on of your past. Now that you have forgiven yourself, you've revisited, you have forgiven your past, then you have to move on. You have to move on. Now that we are already moved on, the next one is we have to appreciate what you have and live a life of expectancy. Right? Appreciate what you have and live a life of expectancy. Yung binasa po natin kanina, sabi niya in verse 19, it says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Okay? He says, "I'm doing a new thing." You are now in the season of a new thing. You are now in the season of those things that God is bringing forth to you. Bago na. Mga bagay na ibibigay sa iyo ni Lord. It may be an opening of opportunity, no, at an opening of the job, no, or those new directions, new moves and favor of God, those things that He wants to give us. Those new things. You've been hurt many times before. Now maybe you have a new, alam po na, may mabagong pag-asa ka na. Siguro if you're hurt, you've been napastid ka every time noon, mayroon ka ng bagong girlfriend o may bago ka ng boyfriend. Those are new. O mayroon ka ng pamilya that you called your own, mayroon ka ng asawa that you called your own, a family of your own, beautiful kids, a promising future, a promising job, a house.
Hallelujah.
Those new things and opportunities that comes because sabi ni Lord, there is a new thing. Sabi niya, I am doing a new thing. Huwag kang mag-alala. Just come out from that bondage. Move on. Huwag mo nang intindihin yung nakaraan mo. Just move on. And I will give you new things. Don't you see don't you see, sabi niya, don't you perceive it? I'm making a way. May way na si Lord. No? So wag po tayong magpatali sa nakaraan po natin. Okay? A new thing will come. A new future will come. Alright? Do not live at the mold or do not live at the mold of your past. Kasi minsan, we are still living at the past. Instead, live to the promise of what is to come. The Bible says, forgetting what is behind and straining what is ahead. Forgetting what is behind, ano ba yung behind natin, yung past, and straining what is ahead. Straining means you have to believe on those things that is ahead of you. Straining, striving, those things that is ahead of you. Okay, and here, the pain of your past are just a series of events that you went through to help you appreciate and be thankful for those things that God has in store for you in the future. Alam po ninyo yung mga past events that comes in your, those are series of events, but it helps you now to appreciate and be thankful of those things because He will do a new thing upon you. He has in store something, a new, a good future, a best for you when we are set free on the bondage of your wound, on the effect of your wound. So, mga kapatid, the keys or the points that you can break through from this bondage of wound is, number one, is to revisit your past. Revisit your past. Pinpoint those events that causes you right now or that has an impact of you. Revisit those things, and then you have to forgive. Forgive your past, forgive those people who cause you trouble, who cause you pain, and forgive yourself. All right? It's not only others, but you have to forgive yourself. Then move on. Forget the past. Forget the former things. Forget what is behind. Strain towards what is ahead. And then appreciate what you have and live a life of expectancy. Appreciate of what you have means there's something that's going on, even though maybe it's a normal thing, but there's something going on because you've been set free, and there's new thing that God is doing. It's a season of new things.